Hello guys, welcome back to the course. In this video, we are going to build the second project. We are going to build flight ticket price prediction model using decision tree regressor. Okay, let's get started. Firstly, we are going to import the datasets using Kaggle Hub API. So let's go to this page and let's click download. And I'm going to copy and paste this code. And I'm going to compile the code. It will take few seconds, maybe 5 or 10 seconds. Next, we are going to create a new variable. I'm going to name it file path. And here is the file path. Let's copy and paste this and put it here. And let's go back to this page. And we are going to copy and paste the file name, flight dataset.csv, and let's put it here. Next, we are going to load the datasets using pandas. Firstly, we are going to import pandas, and let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it data, and to load the datasets, we are going to use pd.ratecsv. And let's copy and paste file path and put it here inside the parentheses. Then after that, we are going to display the first 5 rows of the datasets. So we are going to use data.head and let's compile the code. As you guys can see, the dataset has 14 columns and the target variable is price. Okay, let's continue. Next, we are going to import several Python libraries. Firstly, we are going to import train test split from scikit-learn.model selections import trained test split. We are going to use this library for splitting dataset into training and testing set. Next, we are going to import label encoder from scikit-learn.preprocessing import label encoder. We are going to use this library for converting categorical data into numerical format. And lastly, we are going to import decision tree regressor from scikit-learn.tree import decision tree regressor. So this is the machine learning model that we are going to use. Okay, now let's compile the code. Next, we are going to loop through categorical columns. Let's create a for loop for call and let's create a bracket. In this case, we have 3 categorical columns. The first one is airlines. Let's copy and paste that and put it inside the bracket. The second one is source. Let's copy and paste this and put it inside the bracket. And the third one is destinations. Let's copy and paste this and put it inside the bracket. These 3 columns have string data type. Therefore, we need to convert them into numerical format. Okay, let's continue. Next, we are going to convert to string, remove spaces, and convert them to lowercase data. And let's put call inside the bracket because call is the index of the for loop. And we are going to use as type. And let's put string inside the parentheses str.strip str.lower because we want to convert them to lowercase. Next, we are going to define the input filter columns. Let's create a new list. I'm going to name it filters. Let's create a bracket. In this case, we have 6 input filters. The first one is airline. So let's copy and paste this and put it inside the bracket. The second one is source. The third one is destinations. The fourth one is total stops. The fifth one is duration hours. And the last one is month. Make sure there is no space, so let's remove this space. Then after that, we are going to define the target variable. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it target. You can name it whatever you want, it is totally up to you. And in this case, the target variable is price. So let's copy and paste this and put it here. Next, we are going to create a copy of feature columns as X. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it X data.log, and let's create a bracket, and let's copy and paste features, and let's put it inside the bracket. And we're going to add dot copy because we want to copy the data, right? Next, we are going to set the target column as Y data, and let's put target inside the bracket. So in this case, X represents the features and Y represents the target variable. Okay, next we are going to initialize dictionary to store label encoders. I'm going to name the dictionary label encoders. And for now, this is going to be an empty dictionary. Next, we are going to loop through categorical columns. So let's create a for loop for call, and remember guys, we have 3 categorical columns: airline, source, and destinations. So let's copy and paste them and put them inside the bracket. Next, we are going to create a new label encoder. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it LE. It stands for label encoder, and we are going to utilize this library. Let's copy and paste that. Then after that, we are going to encode the column and store the transform values. X.log, and let's put call inside the bracket because call is the index of the for loop, and we are going to utilize the label encoder dot fit transform, and let's put X call inside the parentheses. Okay, let's continue. Next, we are going to save encoder for later use in predictions. Let's copy and paste label encoders, and let's put call inside the bracket equals LE. So we're going to save it in this dictionary. Next, we are going to split the data into training and testing sets. Let's create 4 variables. The first one is xTrained, the second one is xTest, the third one is yTrained, and the last one is yTest. And we are going to utilize this library, trained test split. And let's put X and Y inside the parentheses. Remember guys, X represents the features and Y represents the target variable. Next, we are going to set the test size to 2.2. In this case, 80% of the data will be used for training and 20% of the data will be used for testing. And lastly, we are going to set the random state to 42. Okay, let's continue. Now we are going to initialize decision tree model. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it model, and we are going to use this library, decision tree regressor. That's the machine learning model that we are going to use. Inside the parentheses, we are going to set the maximum depth to 6, and we are going to set the random state to 42. Then after that, we are going to train the model using the training data. Model.fit, and let's put x trained and y trained inside the parentheses. Okay, now let's display instructions for the user. Print, enter flight details to predict ticket price. We are going to get the user input. We are going to ask the user to enter the airline name, source, destination, city, total stops, month, and also durations. Okay, let's get started. Firstly, we are going to ask the user to enter the airline name. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it airline input. To get user input, we're going to use input functions. And we're going to convert the user input to lowercase. So let's add .strip.lower. Next, we are going to ask the user to enter the city source. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it source input. And we are going to do the same thing. We are going to convert this to lowercase. So let's add .strip.lower. Next, we are going to ask the user to enter the destination city. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it destination input. It is going to be exactly the same. We're going to use input functions. And let's copy and paste this, strip.lower. Next, we are going to ask the user to enter the total stops. How many total stops in the flight? Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it stops input. And we are going to do the same thing. We are going to convert this to lowercase. So let's copy and paste this, strip.lower. Next, we are going to ask the user to enter the flight durations. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it duration hours. And the data type will be float because we are expecting to get decimal number. Duration hours. And lastly, we are going to ask the user to enter the month. It is the month in which the flight departs. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it month input. And the data type will be integer because we are not expecting to get any decimal number. Month 1 to 12. Okay, let's continue. Now we are going to create a helper functions for safe label encoding. I'm going to name the functions safe transform. You can name it whatever you want. It is totally up to you. And this function has two parameters. The first one is encoder and the second one is value. Okay, now we are going to create a conditional statement to check if input value exists in the training data. If value int encoder dot classes, then we are going to encode the valid value. Returned encoder dot transform, and let's put value inside this bracket, and let's put 0 inside the second bracket. Else if the input value is not in the training data, then we are going to warn the user. Print let's copy and paste value and let's put it here. Not found in training data using fallback -1, and we are going to return -1 here. Okay guys, we are done with these functions. Next, we are going to encode Ireland input. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it Ireland encoded. You can name it whatever you want, it is totally up to you, and we're going to call these functions save, transform. And remember guys, this function has two parameters. The first one is the encoder. So in this case, we're going to use the label encoders. Let's copy and paste this, and let's put Ireland inside the bracket. So that's the first parameter, and the second parameter is the value. So let's copy and paste Ireland input and put it here inside the parentheses, because this is the input value from the user. Next, we are going to encode the source input. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it source encoded, and the logic is going to be the same. We are going to use these functions, so you can copy and paste this line, but we are going to replace Ireland with source. Let's do it. And lastly, we are going to encode the destinations input. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it destinations encoded, and the logic is going to be exactly the same, so you can copy and paste this line, but we are going to replace source with destinations. So let's copy and paste this and put it inside the bracket. Next, we are going to combine all inputs into a single list. Let's create a new list. I'm going to name it input data, and let's create a bracket, and let's copy and paste Ireland encoded, and let's put it inside the bracket. Let's copy and paste source encoded, and let's put it inside the bracket. Let me scroll down a little bit. Let's copy and paste destination encoded, and let's put it inside the bracket. Let's copy and paste stops input. Let's copy and paste duration hours, and the last one is month input. Let's copy and paste this and put it inside the bracket. Okay, next we are going to predict the flight price using the trained model. Let's create a new variable. I'm going to name it predicted price, and obviously we are going to use the decision tree regressor model. So let's copy and paste this variable model, and let's put it here dot predict, and let's copy and paste input data and put it inside the parentheses. Next, we are going to display the predicted flight price. Print /end estimated flight ticket price. Let's copy and paste this variable predicted price, and let's put it here, and we are going to put 0 inside the bracket, and we are going to round this up to 2 decimal. So let's add 2f. Before compiling the code, there are a few mistakes that we need to fix. The first one is strip lower. We need to remove this because stops input is actually an integer, not a string. Therefore, we don't need to have strip.lower. Next, we need to fix this line and also this line. If you remember, we copy and paste this line and we replace Ireland with source, but we forget to replace airline input with source input. So let's do it. And we are also going to do the same thing for this line. We are going to replace airline input with destination input. So let's copy and paste this and put it inside the parentheses. Okay, now we are going to compile the code. Okay, just click this and it will take few seconds. Enter flight details to predict ticket price. Air India. The source is Delhi. The destination is Kolkata. The total stop is 0. The duration is 2 hours and the month is September. So let's enter 9. Okay, here is the estimated flight ticket price, 4,906, and the currency is in Indian rupee. Okay guys, we have successfully built flight ticket price prediction model using decision tree regressor. I think that's it. That's all you need to know. I'll see you guys in the next video.